How have you been?
Good. I've been doing really well. I had a record high month last month of 40 grand.
That's
So
amazing.
like it was really crazy. Like I'm like, how in the world did I just do that? I like what? Um, and then I think before that was like a 30,000 month and like this month, yeah. So it's kind of crazy.
I love it. Yeah, no, that's a huge increase. And like just for context for everybody, like what is your background, experience? Like where did you start where versus where you are now?
Yeah, so I run a social media agency in Portland. However, what I came to you for was like my coaching program. So I feel like well, this is what I've seen, honestly. Like I was stuck at like the $3,000 per month mark of making or helping like social media managers turn into or just like get started with social management. And so I kind of realized I was like, okay, so I am at this like kind of like block way of like not knowing like my offers. So I decided to kind of switch to an offer similar to yours and do like one-on-one coaching. And then also kind of switch to who I was targeting, which was
Yes.
a little more experienced. And
Mm-hmm.
when I started seeing like the increase in my business was okay, like let's talk to people who actually kind of like know what they're doing. And then also having like that one-on-one element or slash group coaching element where it's not just someone just buying like a course or something. So that's kind of
Totally.
yeah, but everything social media agency, working with businesses, clients, whatever, and then also teaching like women how to get into social management.
I love that. So essentially like they come in, they learn how to manage social media pages for businesses.
Exactly. Yes.
That's awesome. And like your content online's like been historically like looking at your videos and images and how you curate everything looks amazing, right?
Thank
So
you.
how do you go about like filming content, putting stuff together?
So I actually script out all my content. So every like Monday, I would say I come up with like a list of ideas. Since I've been doing the same marketing for the past like 4 years, I kind of know what people want to see already. But a big way that I get clients too is like TikTok SEO and also like Instagram SEO. So I like look up certain keywords that people are kind of searching up already like organically. And then I just use those like keywords in my content and
Hmm.
brings in clients and students organically. And yeah, so I just like script out using keywords and then obviously like most commonly asked questions. Like that's kind of like my secret. I think the biggest part of like building a brand though is kind of finding like that sweet spot of like educational, but not like textbook slash like inspirational, where people can like really relate to you on a personal level and like kind of like creating that narrative or that story of like who you are and why someone should follow you.
Yes. So that's like pillar content. So essentially somebody
Yep,
can type in a keyword, search up a specific question on TikTok or Instagram, and then your videos are actually ranking there and they're discovering you.
exactly.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then like the format of those videos, like you have your education based, and then you
Hmm.
have your inspiration, which is like I went from X to making X. Here's how I could
Hmm.
change your life.
Exactly. Yeah. And kind of like taking people on that journey. And I blew up on TikTok first. So I think I have like around 80,000 followers there. And then Instagram was recently. And I honestly, I don't have the answer of what changed. I just kind of put more effort into aesthetic kind of content,
Hmm.
which is funny because like TikTok is like raw or like
Yeah,
natural. And then Instagram has to be kind of more curated.
it
I've
does.
I've
Yeah, very
noticed.
aesthetics based. You gotta have like a certain vibe to it. Whereas TikTok, it's like you can just film the video, post it, and then it takes off.
Yeah. It's weird. So it's like almost like it's like really annoying because I'm like, and now I have to like create two separate kind of strategies.
Yeah.
But
Instagram's like aspirational. TikTok's more like community driven,
yep.
engaging with people, actually filming videos in reply. And a lot more people are commenting on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed that too with like my clients I work on.
And so you found us through social media as well.
I did. Yeah. I had been following you for a long time. And I just was like, this dude like knows what he's doing. I'm like, how can I learn like I'm like, there's something I'm like not doing right or like I just want to like know how I could make more money, to be honest, and slash
Sure.
like help more people too. I know you work primarily with like Shopify brands, so I was like, but I feel like he's already doing what I'm doing, so I wanted to
Yeah.
learn.
For
Yeah.
ourselves. And then we have this whole back end thing for like lead gen businesses that we really don't like publicize, but we're working
Oh.
with like, so many big brands in the lead gen space that are doing 500, a million. We have somebody doing $2.6 million a month in lead gen space. It's absolutely insane.
Wow.
Yeah, so the strategies are very scalable. And so right around that time, like when we had gotten contact, you were doing the agency model, you were working with clients, it was going well. You're
Hmm.
like, hey, I want to start expanding into the coaching side because a lot of people want to know what I'm doing and how I can do it too, right?
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
that's when you started to open up that line of business. And what did the differences look like in those two?
With like my agency versus coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, there is pros and cons with every business. I'm learning. The grass is not always greener. So, I'm just being so brutally honest right now. So, agency side, right? You're doing everything. You're kind of
Mm-hmm.
at the client's beck and call, right? You have to like nurture these people because one, they're retainer clients. So you have to like really like, prove your worth to them. But you're also, not only are you doing that, but you're also doing everything like your video editing, posting, at least from my end, right? And
Yep.
and like coaching, I was like, there has to be like an easier way of doing this. And I had a course for like a very long time, but no one was really buying it like that. Like I
Okay.
was consistently making like 3,000 a month, but that's not really enough to live on. So I was like, okay, there has to be another way of like an offer that I could do. So I just decided to teach people like what I'm doing rather than just doing everything.
Right.
Um, I did find some kind of like, kinks with that business as well, is like your time is now being taken just in a different form. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then you mentioned you're like, oh, you can just like charge more the more, if your
Raise
availability.
pricing.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I guess like what made me, I mean, I've always like sold a course, but I wanted to like talk more with like the people buying my stuff and then also help them get better results. And I truly believe that the way to do that is not just through a course, it's like a coaching program.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of lifestyle shifts and like the standard roadmap for most people, it's like you can go from making $8 an hour and then the next big like lifestyle shift where you see everything change is like 10K a month, right? So as an agency owner, you can do 10, 20, even up to 30K, 40K solo. But as you add every 10K on top of it, like your time shrinks, you're doing everything, you're dealing with all your
Yeah.
clients. And so you're spending less time going to dinners or hanging out with friends. And so you can add an additional 10 all the way up to about 40 and people start to cap out solo. And you
Mm.
either pull back and you do maybe 20K and still have, work-life balance where you can hang out with family, still go out, do things. But at that
Yep.
40K mark, it's either like, okay, do we scale the agency, bring on more people, or do we transition into, tapering back a little bit on the agency, but then introducing coaching, which is a little bit more of a balance, but still
That's like
it's just as
exactly what
much
I'm
work,
doing.
right? And then at
Yeah.
that point, a lot of times people will be like, okay, I can either solely focus on coaching, have both, or just the agency. And usually it's a little bit of a blend, and people are at like the
I mean, that's so
40K.
funny. This is like literally exactly what I'm going through right now. And I'm like
Yeah,
asking myself, I'm like, what do I want? And like, I don't think I even know the answer right now. Cause like I see like I like both of them. And so I'm like, I don't know which one I want to lean more on. But something that I've kind of realized is like I feel like I should go all in on one because the other one is taking my time. So I'm still kind of juggling back and forth of what I want to do. But where you really helped me was honestly just running ads and like getting more people. And I
yes,
think running ads actually brought in more followers on my Instagram. I don't know if
totally. Yeah,
or
it's a
not, but
byproduct for sure.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like with ads, like you want to introduce systems because if you're constantly making videos, right, and you're getting a lot of people coming in, the next stage of that is let's just get something on autopilot that is just always producing for us, right? So
Hmm.
like you're getting some crazy, you're running DM funnels, right? So your
Yeah.
cost per result is one of the lowest I've seen across a lot of people's campaigns, like
Really?
$1, 50
Yeah.
cents for a DM, and people are willing to
Uh-huh.
pay a lot more than that just to start a conversation with people. So like
Oh,
your ads are
I didn't know
crushing.
that.
Yeah. And then from there, like you launched, and scaled up a little bit more on the ads. And so more and more people started to come in. And what did you start to go from monthly once you got introduced on ads? You went from around like 10, 20 to doing 30 and 40K?
Well, so half of that was 20K from agency. So I went from like 3K to like 20K. But I
Nice.
also didn't increase my ad spend by like really anything. I just got more conversations with people.
More refined, better at answering questions, getting people introduced to the offer.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that kind of like changed my like funnel was just hopping on sales calls rather than just like trying to land them in the DMs. But I think you mentioned this, you're like maybe just charge like a higher ticket like kind of price for what you're for that. Obviously, you don't
Yeah,
want to sell like something small on a sales call. You just have
100%.
to
Yeah,
take the money. Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah, and how hard is it to scale? So have there been breaking points?
Yes. I think I'm currently in one. So I recently just kind of like put a halt on like how many students I have been like kind of enrolling into my coaching because I was like, oh wow, this is like taking a lot of time. So I'm kind of like refining my offer again. But I think that's like something I'm learning is like, okay, like new milestone, that's great, but how can I like make it better and like more like refined? So I think something I'm testing right now is like group coaching offer, bringing in more students rather than just doing one-on-one. So I don't have to like, because
Yeah,
my
as
time
many
is
calls.
limited.
So
Mhm.
like around the so if you're like as a solo, somebody who's just operating everything, right? So like the 40K is usually like a pretty hard threshold to break through without simplifying and just streamlining everything. And like usually from that stage, the next big shift that a lot of people unlock is like, okay, 100K is like the next marker where you see
I
radical
know. I'm like,
differences.
how do I get there faster?
And at the 100K point, you actually gain back pretty much like half of your time, believe it or not. You just have more
Yeah.
people. So when you go to the 100K, it's usually, okay, we're making 40K. It's great. Cash is amazing. But then all of a sudden you have a lot of team members and then you're pretty much making what you used to at like the 10K mark,
Yep.
right? But then
Oh,
all those people, and then everything starts to really grow and you start to ramp up to that 100K because the capacity opens up, a lot more opportunities show up, you can do more deals, you can, speak with more people. And at that point, you're at 100, right? And you have half your time back. You're not spending as much time doing every little thing. And everybody on the team is kind of carrying it up from there. And then, you go the 100 to 200, then 200 to 4, then it just keeps going if you keep scaling.
yeah. Which that's like the goal. I'm trying to
Some
figure that
people
out.
would just be
Well,
happy with the 40.
and-
Others are like, let's do the 100. Some people are
No,
like, I'll
I
take 10K all day.
No, that's like, I think that's something I've been wrestling with recently. It's like, okay, like I've achieved this, but like now what? And how do I keep making this happen? And something that I like about the agency model versus coaching, I don't think you have this problem, but coaching is not like reoccurring revenue. It's like, okay, I made at least from what I have. And I'm trying to figure out kind of that thing right now. But the agency is more like retainer based. So I work with like 10, 11, 12 clients and then they just stay with me for years. And then,
Sure.
it's a great business model. So that's kind of like what I'm refining right now is like how can I keep, these coaching students in longer so that I can like increase like the lifetime value of like how much they're,
100%. Yeah. Every agency hits that stage. Every
yeah.
coaching, there's always balance points in figuring out when to adjust things. But to make your kind of jump from where you were in just a matter of 2 months is like pretty amazing. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It like
and
literally I went from like 3 to like 20 and then I guess like with the other 20 at 40. So
I love it. Yeah. And the ads are stable and you have the promotional content on the ads. What do those creatives look like compared to the organic? Are you leveraging the organic videos? Are you creating different ad styles?
yeah, so it's kind of like a mixture of both. If I see something that's performing well on social, I kind of just take that and create similar verbiage or like ad copy and then just make it more clear like call to action, just prompting to DM. That's honestly what I've seen like really work. If you know your audience like and you have grown an audience, like that's the secret is like just like taking that and making it an ad and then you get actual people in your DMs hopefully qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a big part of that is like if you've grown your organic following so much and like a lot of people are engaging, getting educated. Like
Mm.
ads are a good way to stay top of mind, staying in front of them, presenting the offer, giving them more education on like what exactly you do. So that way
Hmm.
you're giving basically the chance for people in your following to make a decision and move forward. So a lot of people like think I only need organic and I can grow all this. It's like, well, no, you could just add ads and spend just a few $100, a week or
No,
even a
it's
day
true.
and literally just be converting them.
Yeah, my ad spend was like $300 to $600 a month. And then I was like, obviously making what I was making.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy ROI. And like in your position, if somebody's just getting started and they're wanting to do the same thing you've gone through, like what would you recommend?
Honestly, just like start and then you'll figure it out along the way. Also, I do think like investing in like a good mentor could like I didn't really do that for like 3.5 years. And I think I could have, if I would have just invested in like learning, I could have done things a lot faster. Just because someone's already been through it before. Um, and then yeah, I think just like the biggest roadblock I see with my like beginners is like people don't know where to start or like how to get their first client or whatnot. And a lot of people will just let that like kind of fear stop them. But what
Mm.
you have to actually do is just get creative with like, okay, I need to reach out to 20 businesses a day. I need to go on Upwork, or I need to just start posting content. It's like you just have to like literally just try, and then you know
So
you'll see
essentially, once you
you'll
get the
see
first
something.
deal, yeah, as soon as you
Huh?
get the first deal and you start to understand, okay, I got the
Yes,
first one. Now, like, how do we just continuously bring more and more in?
exactly. Yeah, and then when you find something that's works, you're like, okay, then there's my process, and I'm just gonna double down, double down, double down on that. And then you're like, okay,
Yeah. Based
now
off like your Facebook ads now, would you have launched those sooner, knowing what you do now?
yes, 100%. Yeah. um and whether it's like trying to get agency clients or trying to get coaching clients, like it would just make everything so much like faster. My only thing, I do think you need to be good at creating content or
You
it's
have
not
to.
going to work. Like I've done some ads with my clients and stuff, and I'm like, all right, this is not good content. So it's not gonna
Yes,
work.
the
Yeah,
content creation is like the biggest skill set unlock. Once you get
it
like creative
is.
figured out, it's like so smooth from there. Like, how do I format the video? What do I say? Hi, I'm so and so. No need to introduce. What do you offer? How can you help them? Educate, free value. Like, get the content out there. Don't oversaturate it with too much text or graphics. Just keep it raw, simple, and build on top of that over time.
Yeah.
If people can figure out the organic game, would you agree? Like, it's so much easier to just like grow and then just add
Yes.
ads and everything else
Yes.
just stacks.
Yeah. And then I was thinking, because I'm like, okay, I'm posting all this content on organic, and then I was super afraid to run ads, but it's like essentially the same thing. You're just paying to get in front of people rather than like, organic would just be you're just posting and
Yeah.
to, either get leads or build a community.
You want to make sure both because all these things
Yeah,
will rise at the same time and they each feed off one another. And like what a lot of people don't realize, like you might have 100K followers, but not every 100K is going to see your video or
that's
post every
true.
time. Like it's a different
Yeah.
portion, different reach. You might even be reaching new people or just be reaching a small portion of the followers. But with ads, if you have a big enough audience and you know, like, hey, there's people that follow me that I know would be a great client of mine, well, you should just launch retargeting because it will get in front of those
Yeah.
people eventually. Like you're going to show
Retargeting.
up. If you're paying, you're going to
Yeah.
get in front of the people.
Yeah, retargeting was huge for me. I think that's the only one I'm running right now is retargeting. I'm kind of refining my ads because they've been running for like the same ones for a long time.
That's good.
I
It's
know.
working. It's stable. You don't have to touch
Yeah.
it. It's like, all right, it's a
Yeah.
system. It's going.
Uh-huh. But that's another point. Like organic is freaking exhausting, especially like if I am doing content for clients on top of my own clients. Like I can only take on so much, but ads, you can just let it run and run in the
Yep.
background.
And you can spend more if you want to and acquire more. It's pay to
Yep.
play. And so what are you focusing on right now? What are the goals coming up?
Um, right now, I'm kind of refining my offers with my coaching and deciding like how many students I want to work with, what that looks like, and refining my offer with that. And then my agency side, I am trying to definitely grow that. I have 3 team members so far working with me there. But the only reason I was able to, grow coaching is because I have my team members. So that was a whole
Yep.
thing I had to learn.
Expanding.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm trying to build both businesses because I love them equally, like the same. And so in the next, like, I mean, I'm reaching for like 50K months, so another 10 and then maybe 100. Like,
It's only a
um,
few more clients.
I know it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then just scale, keep doing it, cap out, bring on more people. Just keep rinse and repeat really from there.
Yeah. And then also hiring someone to help me with my DMs since I'm running DM campaigns and
Yes.
a
A
lot
lot
of
of,
like answering.
a lot of people don't realize like with DM funnels, like it's very heavy on like conversations and being active throughout the day. Like,
It
if
is.
you're getting hundreds of people trying to have a conversation with you, you have to, I mean, that's a lot of people to go through.
Yes, it is. And I'm running like that same campaign for one of my med spa clients, and she's in the DMs, right? Constantly like engaging, but she's getting new patients in there. So I don't think it works for like literally every industry. Retargeting slash DM, but
And are you doing any automations on the messaging, or is it strictly just
yeah.
human interaction conversation with them?
Yeah, I do like first 3 message automation and then I see kind of where they're at and then I go in there and kind of like respond to the rest.
Who's a good fit, who's not? That makes sense.
Yeah, kind of like who's like many chat kind of thing.
Yep, Manning Chat's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
people aren't using that. That's like an easy, quick unlock. You want to find automation systems that can basically repeat whatever you're already doing. It just
Yep.
opens up more bandwidth. Like so many people forget to like leverage these like AI tools now. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
these tools are literally recognizing a conversation and can reply according to like what you'd normally say. It's like the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah. It really is. But it saves a lot of time.
Yeah. Where do you think that's all going? You think you're going to start using more AI?
I do. And then I get like the haters on my videos saying your job is going to be replaced by AI. And I'm like, it's not. Um, but yeah, no, I think like utilizing AI or just like the like many chat, that's seriously gonna change everything and it makes everything
100%.
a lot smoother and easier. I do think people want a real person though when they're like,
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like, having authentic conversations all day is the play for sure.
yep,
As things scale, you want to automate some of the stuff that's like where people aren't qualified and then directing them to the right appropriate resources or free trainings to let them build up first, right? Before it makes sense to
exactly.
move forward. Yeah, I love it. So next goal is 50. How long do you think it'll take?
I mean, honestly, the 40 came out of nowhere. So I was like what? Like I was like re-looking back at like I was like this is crazy. But then it made me just have like a mindset shift of like, okay, like it really is content, running ads and just hustling and then help finding people to help you that are really great.
What would you
So,
say the biggest unlock from the mentorship with us has been?
my belief in like running ads and that it could actually help. I also think I'm like convinced it made me grow organically as well because I wasn't growing for literally years. I on Instagram, my platform had always been TikTok.
Yes.
So I started running retargeting ads. I think my theory is it probably increased like engagement on my page or made people more intrigued with my content.
Hmm.
And I just grew from like it was like 6,000 to like now I have like 22,000.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah, so I think that has been really helpful for my brand. And then also that correlated to like sales and income too. And then just like, yeah, figuring out how to run ads and not thinking that it's scary because a lot of people think it's like daunting and scary. Well, people do them wrong too. So I think your guidance helped as well.
Yes, totally. I think a lot of people forget, like, they think they just need to run a follower campaign to grow followers. It's not necessary. You could focus on like what your goal is. If it sells, getting more clients, and the byproduct is you're getting more people to find out about you anyway, so you're going to naturally grow. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a win-win situation.
Yep, exactly.
That's awesome. All right, so 50K in the next 30 days.
I want 50K the next 30 days. Yes.
Yes, let's make it
Like,
happen.
yeah.
And what's one takeaway that you think people should like apply now, or like the biggest thing that you would say, people should focus on?
Hmm.
It could even
I
be a recent thing that's working for you.
Oh, okay, more okay. I would say post content, post your Instagram content, TikTok content like every single day for like the next 30 days. When you find out or look at the views and the engagement on the post, and then take those and put them into ads. And obviously, I would refine like the call to action and have it be very, very clear.
Yes.
But I've seen that just like really help, because you like if you post it on social, one, it's free, and then two, it's like already you're testing it. And then when you test it and you put it in the ads, it's like, okay, this one is going to perform well, because it already did well on social.
I guarantee there'd be plenty of lives changed if somebody just stuck with posting for 30 days straight, launched just a
Yeah.
few videos into ads. They would
Hmm.
be totally surprised at the outcomes that could happen.
I agree.
I love it. Awesome. Well, that's super amazing. Thank you so much for hopping on the call and just being authentic and sharing all this.
Of course. Thank you.
And then we'll have to do a check-in call once we scale up even more.
Yes,
We'll see what the learnings were between where you are now and then, doubling it down the line.
I agree. Yeah. Oh,
Awesome.
yeah. All
And then where
right.
can everybody find you?
Savannah Case Media on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok.